Hello my motor enthusiasts. The 2024 Formula One season has been a battleground of intense teammate rivalries, each vying to outdo the other. At Red Bull Racing, Max Verstappen is leaving Sergio Perez in the dust with consistent superiority in both qualifications and championship points. Over at McLaren, both Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri have claimed their maiden wins, though Norris often edges out in qualifying. Ferrari sees Charles Leclerc leading Carlos Sainz, despite their neck-and-neck performances. Meanwhile, Mercedes shows a reversal of fortunes with Lewis Hamilton recovering to rival George Russell's early season lead. Each team faces its own set of challenges and triumphs, creating a dynamic and unpredictable landscape. What a thrilling season it's shaping up to be. Hello there. I'm Enzo, your host on the F1 Motor Fever podcast, coming to you daily with all the latest from the world of Formula One. Joining me is the brilliant William, who'll be sharing his insights as we dive into today's hot topics.
Thanks, Enzo. It's great to be here, and I can't wait to get into today's discussion.
Absolutely, William. And hey, to all our listeners, if you're enjoying our content, do subscribe to our channel, turn on those notifications, and drop us a comment. Sharing our episodes with your friends and family not only helps spread the word, but also supports us massively. Today, we've got some jaw-dropping updates you won't want to miss. I mean, the team dynamics we're seeing this season. You won't believe what I'm about to reveal. This is the kind of stuff that shakes up the standings and spices up the races. So stick around.
That's right, and these rivalries aren't just about the drivers. They shape the whole team's strategy and future.
Exactly, William. So, let's dive in and go full throttle. Diving deeper into the team dynamics, let's take a closer look at Red Bull Racing. Max Verstappen has dominated the season, outqualifying Sergio Perez in every race, showing a staggering difference in championship points, 295 to 139. Despite Perez's early success with 4 podium finishes, his performance has dipped significantly, failing to finish higher than 6th in the last 9 races. It's been a tough season for Perez, especially with those 2 retirements in Monaco and Canada and a disastrous 17th finish at Silverstone.
Indeed, that sort of disparity between teammates can really expose the pressures within a team. It's not just about the mechanical performance, but also about how drivers handle the mental and physical demands of the sport. As we've seen, even small mishaps like a crash in qualifying can have drastic consequences on race day.
Right, and speaking of handling pressure, over at McLaren, the scene is a bit different with Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri both securing maiden wins this season. Norris has outperformed Piastri in qualifying, 12-3, and in race results, 10-5. But despite this apparent edge, the point gap isn't massive, 225 to 179, showing Piastri is not far behind. However, this competitive environment, while it drives performance, could potentially lead to friction or even destabilize the team's harmony if not managed carefully.
That's a valid point. The internal competition is good to push drivers, but there's always that fine line, isn't there? It could turn into a scenario where the rivalry overshadows the team's overall strategies and objectives.
Moving over to McLaren, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri have been putting on quite the show. Norris, seizing victories including a sensational win in Zandvoort, has really put the Papaya team in a strong position to challenge Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship. Despite some setbacks that might have cost him additional wins, the team's resilience shines through, holding a genuine shot at their first title since 1998.
It's impressive, isn't it? The dynamics between Norris and Piastri have been pivotal. They're closely matched in race results, yet Norris has the upper hand in qualifying most of the time. Such intense competition within the team can either forge stronger drivers or lead to friction, especially with team orders in play, like we saw in Hungary.
Absolutely. And speaking of team dynamics, let's not forget Ferrari. Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz have both demonstrated strong performances early on but faced a dip in form as the season progressed. Despite that, notable moments like Leclerc's win in Monaco and Sainz's comeback from surgery to clinch a victory in Australia show their tenacity. It's a rollercoaster at Ferrari, but these thrilling moments make Formula One what it is, unpredictable and exhilarating.
That unpredictability is what keeps the fans on the edge of their seats. The ups and downs, the unexpected podiums, and the intense rivalries are what make each race a narrative of its own.
Wow. I can't help but think how amazing the world of Formula One is. Such emotions, such competitiveness, such adrenaline. It's quite something, isn't it? What do you reckon, my lovely audience? Are you enjoying the content? Don't forget to hit the like button, alright? I'm absolutely loving these updates, and I hope you are too. Thanks ever so much for tuning in. Let's carry on. Shifting our focus to Mercedes, it's been a season of revival for both Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. Early in the season, neither driver seemed able to challenge for podiums, but the tide has turned since the Canadian Grand Prix. Russell, in particular, has shown a remarkable improvement, out-qualifying Hamilton 11-4 and even securing a pole position and a third-place finish in Canada.
Yes, and let's not overlook Hamilton's resurgence. After a victory drought dating back to 2021, Hamilton claimed his 9th British Grand Prix win at Silverstone and followed up with a victory at the Belgian Grand Prix after Russell's disqualification. It's a clear sign that Mercedes is regaining its form, setting up an intriguing end to the season.
Absolutely. And moving to Aston Martin, it seems Fernando Alonso continues to lead the charge against his teammate Lance Stroll. Alonso has outperformed Stroll in both qualifying and race results, 10-5, maintaining a solid lead in championship points, 50-24. Despite this, Stroll has shown significant improvements compared to last season.
Indeed, Aston Martin haven't had the easiest of seasons, especially with the lack of progressive upgrades to their car. It's a stark contrast to the early success Alonso had last year, and it highlights just how crucial continuous development is in this sport.
It certainly does. The ever-evolving dynamics within these teams and their performances paint a fascinating picture of this Formula One season. It's a relentless quest for improvement and adaptation, which not only tests the team's engineering capabilities but also the driver's resilience and adaptability under pressure. Over at Aston Martin, the struggle with car development has been evident. Mike Crack, the team principal, has even termed the changes made over the summer as a technical restart. Despite this, Lance Stroll has managed to notch up 6 top 10 finishes compared to Fernando Alonso's single top 5 finish at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
That's quite a discrepancy in performance between the two drivers. Could you give an example of how these development issues have specifically impacted their results?
Certainly. If we look at Alonso's performances, besides his top 5 in Saudi Arabia, he's been unable to break into the top echelons of the grid in other races. This suggests that the car might be lacking in aerodynamics or power, crucial aspects that directly affect a car's speed and driver's ability to compete at the front. On the other hand, Stroll's consistent top 10 finishes could indicate his perhaps adapting better to the car's limitations or benefiting from race day strategies that mitigate these development issues. Moving on to RB, Daniel Ricciardo has been under significant pressure, showing some sparks in qualifying but struggling to convert these into consistent race day performances. In contrast, Yuki Tsunoda has outperformed Ricciardo in most races, bolstering his retention for the next season and possibly setting him up for a promotion to Red Bull.
It's interesting to see such team dynamics. What examples can you provide that showcase Tsunoda's superiority over Ricciardo?
One key example is their performance in sprint races where Tsunoda has consistently finished ahead of Ricciardo, such as during the first sprint race of the season where Tsunoda finished first compared to Ricciardo's second. This shows Tsunoda's ability to handle pressure and deliver quick, decisive performances, a trait highly valued in Formula One. Over at Haas, the internal competition between Nico Hülkenberg and Kevin Magnussen has been intriguing. Hülkenberg has clearly been the more dominant driver, amassing 22 championship points to Magnussen's 5. Despite both drivers facing retirements, such as at the Monaco Grand Prix, Hülkenberg's overall performance has been much stronger.
These internal team battles are always fascinating, giving a different layer of competition beyond just the race for the championship.
A recent development in the racing world saw Nico Hülkenberg securing 5 top 10 finishes this season, a stark contrast to Kevin Magnussen's 2. Interestingly, Magnussen's aggressive defense tactics early in the season aimed at aiding Hülkenberg led him to accumulate 10 penalty points, nearly costing him a race ban. Both drivers are set to depart Haas, with Hülkenberg moving to Sauber and Magnussen being replaced after the team signed Oliver Bearman and Esteban Ocon.
That reminds me of a situation during a local karting event I attended recently. One of the competitors was similarly penalized for overly defensive driving. It seems these aggressive tactics are discouraged at all levels of motorsport, not just in Formula One.
Indeed, strict regulations are in place to ensure fair play and safety. Switching to the Alpine team, we've seen Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon closely matched, with Gasly leading slightly in the championship points, 8-5. Their on-track rivalry has provided some thrilling moments this season.
It's these head-to-head battles that really bring excitement to the sport, isn't it? Just like in local races, the competition between teammates can sometimes be more intense than with the rest of the field.
Absolutely, and speaking of intense competition, over at Williams, Alex Albon has continued to outperform Logan Sargent in their second season together. Williams has faced a tumultuous return post-summer, with Sargent missing qualifying at the Dutch Grand Prix due to a fiery crash in the third free practice session, and Albon disqualified after his car's floor failed the International Automobile Federation checks.
Such incidents really highlight the unpredictability and challenges of Formula One. It sounds quite similar to what happened at that karting event, where a favorite was disqualified for a technical non-compliance, changing the dynamic of the whole race.
It's these challenges that test a team's resilience and adaptability. With the season progressing, it will be intriguing to see how teams and drivers navigate these hurdles and what strategies they employ to overcome them. At Williams, despite the challenges of an overweight car, Alex Albon managed to secure 2 points at both the Monaco and British Grand Prix. He remains optimistic about the team's progress, emphasizing the importance of getting the foundations right for the future.
That's encouraging to hear, especially in such a competitive environment. It's crucial for teams to stay positive and focus on building steadily.
Speaking of building, Sauber's journey has been quite challenging this season. They remain the only team without any points as we approach the end of the year. Despite Valtteri Bottas consistently outqualifying his teammate Zhou Guanyu, Zhou has finished higher in 5 races. However, neither driver has managed to break into the points yet.
That's quite a dilemma for Sauber, especially as they prepare to transition to the factory Audi squad in 2026. It's a tough spot, but these challenges can spur teams on to make significant leaps.
Absolutely, and with both drivers' contracts expiring at the end of the season and the team having already signed Nico Hülkenberg for 2025, the future lineup is still uncertain. The team's management changes, with Jonathan Wheatley and Mattia Binotto stepping in, will likely impact these decisions deeply.
Changes at the managerial level can indeed reset the strategic direction. It's all about aligning everyone towards a common vision, isn't it?
Precisely, and with the end of the season approaching, all teams, not just Sauber, will be looking to refine their strategies and secure the best possible outcomes as they head into the off-season and begin preparations for the next year. William, what's the word on the street, internet-wise?
Right, listen to this. User Alatar Palando says, quote, Mick Schumacher, Williams chance gone, Audi in his sights, unquote. It's been quite the topic of discussion, this one.
Oh, I can imagine. What's the general sentiment in the comments?
Well, user loves his yogurt chimed in with, quote, does their plan hinge on the idea that at some point the grid will get so sick of seeing these articles they'll give him one in exchange for some peace and quiet, unquote. Quite cheeky, that.
Here we go.
Then, Michael Kerman commented, quote, I think you're misreading this. Drivers looking for a drive always do this, they always look. The only difference is with Mick we're actually hearing rumors about it, whether or not they are actually true, unquote. And user cheers I added a bit of satire, saying, quote, door closes for Mick at Audi as he points his laser sight at Max's Red Bull seat for 2026, unquote.
Blimey, they don't hold back, do they?
Absolutely not. And there's more. Campbell mentioned, quote, an Audi probably wants to not have to rebuild a crashed car every few races, unquote. Clearly, there's a bit of concern over the potential costs of having a risky driver.
It sounds like the internet's got plenty to say about Mick's future. Any consensus?
Not really, it's a mixed bag. But it's clear Mick Schumacher's career moves are as much a spectator sport as the races themselves.
Thanks for tuning into F1 Motor Fever podcast today. We've had a fantastic session discussing the latest on the Formula One scene, from team strategies to driver movements. Your company has been splendid. Don't forget to subscribe and activate those notifications so you never miss out on our discussions. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, why not share it? Whether it's on your social media or just a casual chat, it helps us a lot. We love reading your comments too, so drop us a line.
Absolutely, and keep your eyes peeled for our next episode. There's always something brewing on the horizon in the world of Formula One. Make sure you're tuning in daily, you wouldn't want to miss out on any of the action or the occasional pun, would you? We've got races to review, technology to decode, and plenty of pit lane secrets to spill.
We truly appreciate all the support and engagement from each and every one of you. It's what keeps this show running and makes it all worthwhile.
Thanks a million, everyone. Looking forward to having you with us next time. Remember, it's not just about the speed, but also the stories behind the speed.
Pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road, our channel's content is pure gold. Cheers and take care until next time.